We are the helpless makers of maps. We are the helpless makers of maps. Hi, this is Dale Byron on Poetry, and this is the theme we want to talk about today because we are right on a knife's edge. This ability or this propensity that we have, this need that we have to make maps, to make meaning of the world, the fact that we can't help ourselves but make assumptions, create stories, have beliefs about the world. This either helps us tremendously in dealing with our difficulties and our challenges, or it puts us in trouble. So we're going to talk about that. So let's jump right into the poem. The poem is the title that we just mentioned, or the theme. We are the helpless makers of maps. And it starts with a quote that I think is right on point by the great Spanish poet Antonio Machado. And Machado said it this way. He said, "Pathmaker, there is no path. Pathmaker, there is no path. You make the path by walking." Okay, so let's get into the poem. We are the seekers. We are the seekers, the way a seed seeks, orients toward the light, or a mother tree protects in storms, fires, drought. In crisis, we search for what and where. Look upstream for the order of first things. In difficult and confusing times, we are the helpless makers of maps, weary, bolstered, besieged. Pathmaker, there is no path. You make the path by walking. To declare the map is made. To declare the map is made is its making. May we make wisely. May we make wisely. You see, I have long observed and experienced in many conversations with people and friends and colleagues that we do have this need to create maps of the world in order to make predictions. And we make these maps, they go along with our beliefs, with our assumptions, with our stories that give meaning in the world, but that also create the world that we inhabit, which means that it has everything to do with how we treat each other, treat ourselves, treat the world at large. You know, I was thinking that, I was making some notes thinking about this particular edition of the podcast. I said, as humans, we are helpless map makers. That's been a major point that we want to get at. As humans, we are helpless map makers, predictors of things, which places us on a knife's edge of survival. So that in the most difficult times, like now, if we move too quickly, ignore both complexity and context, our maps will become useless. In other words, if power and short-term gain causes us to ignore complexity, causes us to ignore the context that we are working within, environmentally, socially, politically, if we ignore those things, then our maps will become useless. However, if we take our natural tendency for map making, our need, in other words, and if we combine it with the wisest parts of ourselves, the parts that understand our profound connection and inner being with everything, then we will have a chance at surviving, and not only that, even thriving. Even thriving. So the poem ends by saying, a poem that I wrote not too long ago, to declare the map is made is its making. May we make wisely. May we take our need to create maps, to create meaning, to make assumptions about the world, to have beliefs, to tell stories about the world. May we base those on the wisest parts of ourselves, based on the complexity that we live and experience and the context, the profound context that we find ourselves within. Thank you so much for your listening ear. Again, this is Dale Byron on Poetry. And until next time and next poem, please take good care of yourself. And if you can, take good care of someone else.